And we are live on one. So guys, if you're with me, give me just a second here. We're going to share the stream and we're going to pick up right where we left off. So YouTube is having some major issues tonight. So we kind of lowered the stream rate just a little bit. Guys, if you're with me, give me just a second here. We're going to share the stream and we're going to pick up right a little bit of an echo. And let's try again. All right, guys. So thank you guys for your patience. So we noticed that there was a couple of other streamers that I was watching in the background on another monitor. Their stream went down, and I got an email stating that server issues. So what we had to do, we had to kind of lower our bit rate, so it might not be quite high def on your TV screen or on your computer tonight or phone, but we apologize for that. But anyway, what we were talking about, now that we're back up and live, you guys let me know if you hear us okay. Make sure we're not buffering. Make sure our audio is okay, and we'll go ahead and we'll get this thing back up and going. But in case you missed it, this is what we were looking at, was the storm prediction. We were getting everybody's idea on the threat for severe weather for tomorrow into Tuesday, and of course, I think we're all in pretty good agreement right now that the it has shifted up to the north a little bit, but that doesn't lessen our threat for severe weather. Now, we might not have that tornado threat like up in Minnesota and Iowa is going to be getting tomorrow, but we're expecting to get a line of severe thunderstorms in here overnight tomorrow night. And we left it off with Matt. Matt, why don't you go over? We were talking about Southwest Missouri, how maybe the tornado threat is not all that great, but you guys are still in that slight risk as you go into Tuesday. So what you're thinking?
Yeah. So like I was saying, the model data that's out now, I really think the window from about 3 in the afternoon to about 7 is going to be the highest chance for tornadic weather in southwest, south central Missouri. After that, it pretty much dissipates. But that's the window I'm looking at for here, because that's the SKUT information that's out there, and like the reflectivity futures don't quite match. They're about half a state off in their timing. So I would really say that kind of, but all of it is south of I-44. So that's really my target area, south of 44. Pretty much between the state line and West Plains. It's all going to be on this side is where everything's showing now. But I don't see, but even still on the stuff that is showing a tornadic potential, it's not very high. We get some real high spikes in Cape value right around like 3 o'clock. So the environment's going to be rich to where if something is able to form, it's going to have all the ingredients to do it. It's just a matter of will it form.
Exactly, and we're not going to be under any kind of cap tomorrow
Right.
either, and that's something that we that's kind of plagued us over the last few events, has been that cap. And of course, just a brief reminder that a cap is like a lid on a pot of boiling water. It keeps that steam from getting out of the pot. You lift the lid and it blows up, and so we're not under a cap, so there's really nothing there except the lifting mechanism that we're missing. So we're going to be again along that dry line. I'm going to show you guys that dry line here in just a moment. So kind of bring back over, I want to show everybody at home. This is the tornado threat assessment from the FPC again. This is 5% risk for west central Missouri, eastern Kansas, down into Oklahoma. And of course, you see that bullseye up there in Iowa and Minnesota, Wisconsin. That's going to be the high risk area for some very strong long track tornadoes possible up in that area. So we're going to take a look at a few of the I want to take a look at a few of the models and show you guys. We're not going to go in too much detail, but just to kind of show you guys what we're looking at. Of course, we're going to start off with the 500 millibar chart. This is what's going on at 18,000 feet above our heads. This is where the jet stream lies, and this tells us where this storm is and how powerful this storm is actually gaining strength as it moves into our area. So I'll let you guys take a look at that, both at home and our storm chasers here, so they know what we are actually looking at right now. And of course, what we have this positive tilted trough this time. Okay, so a positive tilted trough. Let me turn my pen on. If you draw an axis right through there, you notice how it's going from northeast to southwest. That's positively tilted. Now, if this thing was oriented this way, where it goes from northwest to southeast, that's a negative tilted storm system. And typically, your negative tilted storm systems are the one that have the better lift, and you have down in the southeast quadrant of that low pressure system, which would be, say, right in this area. That's where you would be looking for the severe potential. But what this actually has is what's called a jet streak. Take a look where the brighter reds are, right up into here, and this is kind of the target area right there. Now this is 18,000 feet above our head. Very strong southwesterly flow at 18,000 feet above our heads, and that's going to interact with some of the different wind direction, wind speed at lower levels, and that's what gets those storms to spin to create mesocyclones. And of course, it's maximized right in this area. Now, that does not mean that we're not going to get any severe storms. So what's going to happen? Let's take a look at the dew points, and I want to show you guys what we're talking about. A dry line. A dry line is kind of a imaginary line that separates the rich, moist air and the really dry air. Now, as I put this into motion, you see the blues. Those are high dew points. Okay, we're looking actually at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and we've got dew points up here 68, 65 degrees. Very, very rich. And you guys probably already tell when you go outside right now, you feel that humidity already starting to pump up from the south. And so what we're doing is we're going to be right here, this line right here. Let me get my pen on and show you guys. This line right here, that is the dry line. Now, if you see this little area right here, that's the cold front. Now, where they intersect is where the highest tornado potential is going to exist. But when you put this into motion, watch what happens. I'm going to go ahead and put this in motion. Now, you see how that cold front right here, that's the cold front. You see how we go later on you see how that catches up with that dry line? Once that catches up to that dry line about 1 o'clock in the morning, that's when the tornado potential will start to go down, because you get the cold front interacting with the dry line. It becomes more linear. You start to get clusters of thunderstorms, not those discrete supercells like they have the potential of up into Iowa as we go through the overnight. And then, of course, as the night goes on, look at the difference. You got 65-degree dew points in Springfield, 45 in Topeka. So very dry air working its way down. And of course, the further south it goes, the lesser the tornado threat. So like what Matt was saying, there's just going to be a real fine line tomorrow afternoon if there's enough instability during that magic hour to produce some strong thunderstorms that have that potential for a strong tornado as well. But I think this is going to be more of a linear complex that down there in Springfield. Now, up in west central Missouri, I'm thinking that we'll look at a model here in just a second where it looks as if we'll get little clusters of thunderstorms. Maybe not just a big solid line, but a cluster of thunderstorms that still has that higher that higher potential to see possibly a strong tornado out of that cluster. Let's jump over here to the Rufus. Now, this is actually a short-term model as well. It's been handling the last few storm sessions, I should say, severe storm events, very, very well. And we're going to start off at the nationwide, and we're going to take a look at tomorrow at about, let's look around noontime tomorrow. And you'll start to notice things are starting to get together tomorrow evening. Now, you see, we'll kind of zoom in here in just a second. There's a couple of really distinct cells in eastern Kansas. They're very small. We'll be watching them very close, and I'm sure Jeff will be too up there in northeast Kansas. We take a look at the environment up here. The Chasers and myself, we like to look at scuties. That is a sounding that tells us what's going on up here, based on a modeling sampling of real-time weather balloons, getting moisture, the temperature, the wind speeds, and height. And if you notice, we have this here, the surface 74 degrees tomorrow night. And we have this parcel of air that is trying to rise. We've got, look at that cap. Look at that cape. We're looking at 3,362 joules of energy. CAPE stands for convective available potential energy. This is what thunderstorms thrive on, and they blow up. And that is a very, very high number for surface-based CAPE. That's even higher than what I looked about an hour and a half ago. So it's continually to go up. We take a look at the hodograph. Now, what a hodograph does, it actually tells us the change in direction of wind and height. You have to have, remember we're talking about the 500 millibar up there, 18,000 feet. We got strong southwest winds. Well, as you go up in the atmosphere, the little wind veins, now we're getting more of a westerly wind as we go up in the atmosphere. So that makes this curve. Okay, we're not going to go into how to read a scuti, but I can tell you that when you have an upside down U, you have, as you go up in the atmosphere, winds are changing in height. You get that spinning motion. You get strong mesocyclones and strong thunderstorms, and they compile all of this data into the best guess possible hazard type. And this is PDS tornado, meaning a particularly dangerous situation tornado is possible up in this area. So we do have a lot of things that are, a lot of ingredients out there ready for this for tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. And of course, we were looking right here in northeast Missouri and going over into northwest Missouri. So Smithville, we've got St. Joe, Maryville, all those people there on the Missouri side in those areas really need to be paying very close attention. And this is about 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, so now take a look what happens as we go overnight. Now notice this line of storms right here. That will continue to be little clusters of thunderstorms. And as you can see, they start blowing up here in eastern Kansas, west central Missouri, and it's going to be right along that front. Remember when we were talking about this dew point line right here? That is where those thunderstorms are going to initiate, right there along that dry line. And remember, the tornado threat is going to be smaller here, but we still have that potential of seeing a tornado or two with this. So now, and most of the models are in pretty fair agreement with what's going to be taking place. Let's look this down on more of a local level here in Missouri. And we notice, let's back up here a little bit to say 9 o'clock. You notice that little bitty cell out there all by itself in a very rich environment. So we're definitely going to have to be paying attention tomorrow evening, but probably more so as we go overnight and we start to see these thunderstorms blossom up here in northwest Missouri around St. Joe, and then that dry line continues and starts interacting with that rich, moist air here in west central Missouri. And we've got some pretty strong storms, and this is at 5 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So, man, I'm going to have several pots of coffee to get me through Monday night and Tuesday, that's for sure. And then, of course, more thunderstorms as we head into 7. These have the possibility to be severe as well. And then that dry line, that cold front, is going to set up probably right around I-44. Matt mentioned that here just a couple minutes ago. And then as we go noon hour, there's 1 o'clock. Now take a look at these supercells that are firing up down here in southwest Missouri. Now this is going to be something that we're going to have to pay very, very close attention to down in southwest Missouri. We got some kids finishing up college down there in Springfield. We've got a lot of friends of all of our groups. The chaser groups are down there in Springfield, including Matt. So definitely, it's going to be a weather-aware day, both Monday and into Tuesday. And of course, the biggest threat is going to be Monday night into Tuesday morning for us here in west central Missouri, northwest Missouri, and then Tuesday afternoon for southwest Missouri. They're definitely going to have to stay very weather aware on that. So, and then of course NAM. Let's take a look at the NAM model. Let's jump down to about that same time frame, and notice once we get to about, now look at that line of storms right along the front. About the same time, this is 2 a.m. with a different model. This is the North American model, short term. And notice it still paints that same picture. Strong line of thunderstorms, clusters of thunderstorms, and as it moves into west central Missouri, right around between the 3, 5, 6 a.m. time frame, we're going to have to pay very close attention to all of these storms. And guys, we're we're right in the middle of this prime time severe weather. Our severe weather season is just starting to really ramp up a lot. And once we get through this Monday and Tuesday, according to the LRC, we're going to be looking 8th, 9th, and 10th of May. Look at that area right there. 90% chance of severe weather in that darker red area, according to the LRC. And looking at the models, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, you guys remember back when we had a tornado in Nevada? And I know Andy remembers this plain as day because he caught a pair of sister tornadoes in Bates County that afternoon. That same part of the cycle is coming around on May 8th, 9th, and 10th. So we're definitely going to have to stay very weather aware during that time. So I tell you what, guys, we've got a long road ahead of us for really for about the next 2 weeks, and then we have another system coming in the end of May. And then the first 2 weeks of June looked very active too. So again, I want a big shout out to you guys because these storm chasers are the ones that feed information back to me. I take a look at radar and we get warnings out to people. That's the whole reason why we do this. It's not fear mongering when we get these roundtables. We just want you guys to know what's going on so you have a plan in place. That's the most important thing that you can do. We've had several trial runs at this. Hopefully we'll have weather radios, have multiple means to receive warnings and watches, especially since this thing looked like coming through west central Missouri in the wee hours of Tuesday morning. So kind of going through here on chat a little bit. Of course, we have a lot of people Pam Wilson saying hi. Catherine Brock. They're storm chasers as well. I'm sure they will probably be getting out as well. Let's see here. Thank you for the super chat, sis. Appreciate that. Lucky and Jan, thanks for all you do. You bet. Thank you. And my hair feels like the humidity. So now, Andy, this is going to be kind of going over a little bit about what we went over last roundtable. And do you remember the answer to the question what the number one thing a storm chaser has in their car? What is it? Snacks. You got to have snacks. So as a,
load up a bunch of them.
as a storm chaser, there's a lot of money that I know because I've been with you guys and out on storm chases. You got to have snacks. You got to have fuel. You got to have equipment. It costs a lot of money to go out and storm chase. And these guys, they all work their own jobs. It's not like they're full-time storm chasers. They're away from their families. They get out there and they chase what most of us run away from. And if you guys would want to help them out anyway, what I do have, I'm going to put this up there for everybody at home. This is just a way you guys can, whether it's $1, $2, $3, you guys know how that goes. You guys always supported me so much in the past with Subby's Weather Talk, and these guys have a lot of expenditures too. So I am going to I got all of their Venmo, PayPal account here. You can screenshot it on your phone. You can write it down. I'm just going to leave it up here for just another minute here. So feel free to give these guys a little bit of love and show them you appreciate them being out and giving real-time reports. I am going to be utilizing their feeds here over Monday and Tuesday. We're going to be taking a look what Jeff is chasing up in northeast Missouri into Iowa because that's going to be heading down our way. We're going to be watching Nader Boys. I think he might be teaming up maybe even with Team Havoc. And we're going to be catching their live streams. And, of course, as we go into Tuesday, we're going to be following Matt down there at 417 Chasers and seeing what, kind of keeping an eye out for our friends and family that are down there in southwest Missouri. So if anybody needs any more of that information, feel free to reach out to us. If you want to follow any of these guys, right down at the bottom scroll has the information where you can get on, follow their YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like to their YouTube channels, follow their Facebook posts, and that's what we're here for, guys. We're here all together to keep you guys safe, not to fear monger. I've seen all kinds of social media posts out there over the last week, and they paint doomsday coming up Monday and Tuesday. But and again, guys, we do have that threat of severe weather coming in for Monday afternoon into Tuesday morning for southwest Missouri, mainly Tuesday afternoon. So have a plan in place, keep the weather radios on, and be following all of us, and we'll definitely be keeping you guys safe. So guys, again, I appreciate you guys taking time out to talk with us again here on the Roundtable. Andy, I'll be seeing you first thing in the morning at 10 a.m. for our podcast, and then I'll be getting with Jeff and Matt and here the next week or two, and we'll get we'll kind of talk a little bit behind the scenes about what goes on for their day job. Because again, all these guys have day jobs. They go out and they work and they try to make enough time to go out and help protect West Central Missouri, Northwest Missouri, Southwest Missouri, Northeast Kansas. They're all over the place. We're very, very lucky to have them. So definitely, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I appreciate we had looked like we kept quite a few people. We're sorry about that that delay that we had, and it seems to be working just fine. The other streamers I've been watching, they're back up and going, and they've been doing fine. It's just maybe not quite the quality that we're used to, but hopefully they'll get that figured out before we head out into the field. So anything you guys want to say before we get out of here tonight?
I just one thing real quick. Anything we've seen from storms this year, don't sleep on a 5% day. Like, and if it gets into a QLCS format, the 2 tornado warning storms that I've got on this year were rain wrap tornadoes. So if it does look like it's lining out, if there's a warning issue, just go with it. Don't wait to see it, you know. And just because it's a low risk day doesn't mean it's a no risk day. So
yep, and man, you hit the nail on the head there, Matt. And I just brought up for everybody there at home again where that 5% tornado risk stretches all the way from southern Iowa down through really the northern half of Missouri into eastern Kansas and Oklahoma. So we do have that 5% risk, and like Matt said, do not be sleeping on that. We need to stay weather aware, have a plan in place, and we'll get through this. We'll get through this just fine, guys. And luckily, we got a great team here that definitely put your safety in the back of our minds, and that's the reason why we're doing this, is to help protect all the area here. Hi, Sally from Warsaw. Great to have you here in the stream. Linda, great to have you. Rhonda, I love seeing all the people chatting in here, and we'll be doing this again probably sometime around the 6th or 7th of May. We're going to be getting together again for our next round of severe weather, but we have to get through this one first. So anybody has any questions, comments, throw them in chat. Message me. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. And Isaac, Andy, Matt, and Jeff, appreciate it again. You guys know I love you. Stay safe here over the next couple days. And you guys at home will be seeing them on my stream as well as their stream. We're going to be following them and making sure that they stay safe. So I guess until next time, guys, I guess we'll call this another wrap.
All right.
All right.
All right, Andy, plenty of time for you to go out and get some more snacks, okay? All right. All right, take care, everybody. We'll talk to you later.